Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome everyone to our 2021 second virtual Face of Justice program. We have a great morning planned. I want to first thank all of our folks who are volunteering for us today. We want to make certain that each of you who's participating has an opportunity to talk to these fantastic volunteers. And so I'm going to ask our mentors to wave. We don't have time, unfortunately, to give you everyone's bio, but we will tell you that all of that information is available on the landing page that we've developed specifically for your school, for the Southfield Public School System. So with that, we want to begin our discussion this morning. I want to first mention that one of our good friends, Judge Michelle Rick, who is associated with the National Association of Women Judges, is one of the folks who we've worked with over the years to develop this great program. And it's a variation of a program that organization has had in place for many years called the Color of Justice. And so we just want to be certain to go ahead and acknowledge that before we move forward. The other thing I want to do is let folks know that these are a couple of the things that we want to make sure you're aware of as we move into the program. Basically keeping your camera on, the things that you already know about virtual hand raising. We're going to be using a couple of polls and ask that the students answer in those polls. And then when we go into breakout, we will have a notification that will pop up onto your screen that will let you know that you have 1 minute left in that breakout session. And also, if you have any technical difficulties, there is one of the squares marked Tech Help. And so you can access any technical help by messaging that person in that screen. So we wanted to kick off with our students in the chat to get a little bit of the energy flowing. We know it's a little bit different here on the virtual space. So let's start with our first question in the chat. And again, this is what it is for students. And it's a pretty easy question. When you woke up this morning, did you get out of bed? Let us know, drop in the chat. It's not a given, I understand. In fact, some of you may still be in bed and just have a great background screen. That's fine. We just want to know. It's a simple question, just answer. We're not going to tell anybody. It won't be on your report cards or anything like that. So we'll ask that you drop, barely, but yes, I love that. A very good answer. All right. Now, I'm going to do another question so we make sure to get those juices flowing. So here's your second question. How many of you thought to yourself, I know what I want to do as a profession for the rest of my life? Did you or no? So it's a yes or no question. Somebody may have, oh, I got some yeses. There you go. I know what I want to do for the rest of my life. Oh, there's a couple of no's. Kind of, maybe, sort of, perhaps. I don't know if that qualifies as yes or no. So we'll just move on from that. All right. Last question. Everybody ready? Oh, yes, I like this. Someone knew since 8th grade that what they wanted to do. All right, here's our last question. When you woke up this morning and you thought about what you wanted to do with your life, did you think, I can't wait to get on Zoom and talk about it with strangers? Who thought that? Everybody? Anybody? No one? Let me hear a yes. Let me hear a no. Oh, nobody. Wow. That's disappointing. All right, well, anyway, hopefully now you've gotten a little bit more awake. Hopefully we're getting ourselves ready together. Excited? All right, great. So now we do have a very, very formal poll question for you, and we're gonna go ahead and launch that poll. I'll remind you all that this one's for the students. Feel free to answer if you want, but it is for the students. So let's launch that first poll if we can. And the question is, have you thought about what career you're interested in after high school? Let's see what the polling says. All right, great. Very, very good. We are now going to give you an opportunity to talk more about that during the course of the day. But before we do, we want to have a couple of messages that we've gotten together for you. Our first is from our Chief Justice of the Michigan Supreme Court, Bridget McCormick, and she sent a message over. She served as a Michigan Supreme Court since 2013 and as Chief Justice since 2019. She was previously a professor at U of M, and she's a great friend of our program. And if we were all in person together, Chief Justice would probably be there greeting us if we were in Lansing at the Hall of Justice. So here's the little greeting that we'd like to share with you.
Hello, everyone. I am Chief Justice Bridget McCormick, and I am so honored to be speaking with all of you. I wish this was in person. I'm excited about your interest in law and your participation in the State Bar's Face of Justice program. Your involvement already shows great initiative, and that's half the battle when it comes to charting your career path. So you're already off to a great start. The first woman to serve on the United States Supreme Court, Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, said, "We don't accomplish anything in this world alone. Whatever happens is the result of all of the weavings of individual threads that creates something." And I couldn't agree with her more. I sit on the Michigan Supreme Court today because family and teachers and mentors have invested in me and supported me and believed in me. And I try to do the same for young people interested in law here in Michigan. The impact that one person can make is tremendous. You are all likely already involved in your local communities in many ways. In both formal and informal ways, you already know the value of serving others. You're probably even serving as mentors for younger siblings or kids in your school. Keep it up. Keep working hard, and remember to thank those who helped you along the way. I wish you all the best.
All right. That is such a great thing for us to be able to hear from our Chief Justice. She's been, as I said, a great friend of the program over the years. We also want to take a moment to thank our Justice Kavanaugh, who is joining us as well, who is also a member of the Michigan Supreme Court. So for those of you who are students, we want to let you know that this is a message and opportunity that rings throughout our legal system, and that folks from all different areas of the legal profession are happy to be participating with you today and give you this opportunity to chat with us and let us know what you'd like to do and think about the legal profession going forward. So I also want to give you another poll question. So here we go. Do you plan to attend one of the following after high school? All right, thanks for jumping in. Great. All right, well, we've got something for folks to think about as we move forward. Now I am going to ask that we play another welcome video, and let's roll it.
Hello, students. Welcome to the Face of Justice program. My name is Reginald Turner. I'm a partner at the Clark Hill Law Firm in Detroit, and I'm president-elect of the American Bar Association. Clark Hill has over 650 lawyers in our offices in 20 U.S. states, Mexico, and Ireland. Before I was president-elect of the American Bar Association, I served as president of the University of Michigan Law School Student Senate, then as president of the Wolverine Bar Association, then as president of the State Bar of Michigan and the National Bar Association. Before I was in law school, I worked my way through college at Wayne State University, loading United Parcel Services trucks at night and working at a drugstore on the weekends until I went into management at UPS. Before I was a student at Wayne State University, I attended Cass Technical High School, and I was a student like you. I thought about being a police officer like my father, but he wanted me to be a lawyer. I decided to become a lawyer while working with the United Parcel Services lawyers on personnel matters after I was promoted to supervisor and then later into the personnel department at UPS because I was a problem solver. One piece of advice I'd like to share with you is treat everyone with respect and seek to help others in your family, your neighborhood, and our great nation. Thank you. Take care.
All right, folks, we're back, and we want to thank Mr. Turner as well, Attorney Turner, for his contribution. Again, someone who has been a great friend of the programming, and so we want to ask you, we want to thank him for sharing that welcome with us. So next, I have one more question for you. All right, here we go. Do you plan, oh, I'm sorry, that's not the question. Here we go. Do you plan to think about the legal profession? All right, fantastic. Well, this is why we're here, to give you some additional information and help you to think about all of your options as you proceed through your studies and get ready for your professional self. All right, we're going to jump into our final welcome video, and we'll do that right now. Roll the video, please. Face of Justice participants, we are kicking off today's program with welcomes from some well-accomplished, prominent members of the Michigan legal community. It is my pleasure to introduce former Mayor of Detroit, Dennis Archer. In addition to that revered title, Mr. Archer is an accomplished lawyer, was appointed chairman of Dickinson Wright Law Firm, was president of 4 bar associations, Wolverine Bar, National Bar Association, State Bar Michigan, and American Bar Association, as well as being appointed a justice of the Michigan Supreme Court. He was also a legal guardian for Miss Rosa Parks. Mayor Archer, for our students here, I want to take you back to high school. What did you want to do?
A long way to go.
I want to know what you wanted to do when you graduated from high school.
Gregory, I will tell you, I did not have a clue as to what I might do or want to do. My dad had a 3rd grade education, and my mother had a high school diploma. Neither one had ever stepped foot on a college campus. They made it very plain to me, however, as long as I can remember, from grade school through high school, that I was going to go to college. In order to go to college, you've got to get good grades. They couldn't tell me where I should go to college, what I ought to consider becoming, because neither one of them had ever stepped foot on a college campus. But their love and support and their big stick about making sure that I always did the very best I could and that the teachers were always right. That was the only thing I had going. And I did not even think about what I might do, Greg, until after I graduated from Cassopolis High School. I went to Wayne State University. I'd never had a counselor before. We didn't have one in Cassopolis. Population in Cassopolis was 1,200, and I graduated in the largest graduation class ever of 79. So we didn't have a college counselor to suggest what I ought to do. So I walked in to the counselor's office as part of the protocol for being admitted, and the counselor said, "What do you want to be?" Well, that summer, I'd worked for Mr. Bernstein, who owned a pharmacy, and he was a pharmacist at Woodward Avenue in Kenilworth in Detroit. And so I said, "I'd like to be a pharmacist." And she said, "Great, well, I'll put you in pharmacy school." And that's how I started.
Excellent. So what is the most important advice that you received about choosing a profession?
Well, I think the most important advice I could give and share with these outstanding students that are going to benefit from all that you all will participate and share and work with them, is give some thought as to what you think you might want to be. I am sure that where you're going to school presently or have gone to school, you've had an opportunity to meet with a counselor, someone who you could ask and share with them what your idea, what your love would be, what you'd like to be, and have them give you some advice. So they will start the process of asking you questions that you must give some thoughtful answers to. And if you do that, it won't take you as long to sort of get to where you want to be as it did for me.
And finally, for those that might be considering the legal profession, what would your advice be to them, Mayor Archer?
Please consider becoming a lawyer or to get involved in the legal profession, whether it is to become a paralegal, a legal assistant, legal secretary. Please get into our profession. We need you. There are so many things that we do in our legal profession to help people, to help those who cannot afford to hire a lawyer or pay for a lawyer, but they have a legal need, for large corporations that need advice, for individuals who are charged with a crime, for people who have had an accident or have been injured in some kind of accident. They need someone to be able to help them. And there's nothing like being able to help people. Always be ethical. Always respond to telephone calls. Always listen to what your clients or people that you're going to help in our profession, what they want and what they need. The fact that you are willing to do that will help them feel so much better about what the outcome will be, win or lose, because they know that the legal profession, the lawyer, the person who's been helping or wants to help them has done it and they've listened to them. You can't win everything. You can't win every case. But if you listen to them, you make that person feel so much better.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to share with our students, Mayor Archer.
Gregory,
I know they
thanks
appreciate
for what
it.
you and the State Bar are doing, and thanks for all of you students who are going to be listening. And if you have any questions, ask Gregory. He's got all the answers. He also knows how to get to me.
All right. Well, again, we are so appreciative to have our input from one of our fantastic and longtime legal professionals, former Mayor Archer. And so we want to give him thanks for sitting along that video and helping us welcome you students. At this time, I think that if we don't have any questions, we're going to move to our break. And at the end of the break, you will see a big flash on your screen that has our break countdown. So don't worry about forgetting. And at the end of the break, we will be preparing to jump into our mentoring sessions. So we'll see you when you return. Thanks, everyone. All right, welcome back, everyone. Hopefully everyone had a good break, got extra coffee or caffeine or whatever it is that you needed to do. We are going to get started here in just a moment once we have everyone in the door, so to speak, the virtual door, and we'll get the program going from there. Before we break into our sessions, I want to take this opportunity to welcome our good friend, Judge Michelle Rick. As I mentioned earlier, Judge Rick has been instrumental in helping us develop this program for the state of Michigan, and I'll let her give you a little more information about that, and welcome Judge Rick.
Thank you very much, Greg, and welcome to our students as well as our mentors. I'm Judge Michelle Rick, and I sit on the Michigan Court of Appeals. For a number of years, I have belonged to the National Association of Women Judges, who is proudly a co-sponsor of this event. We are so grateful to work with the State Bar and its committees as this is a flagship program of NAWJ. NAWJ was established by two women in the early to late 70s. And the idea behind NAWJ was to ensure that our judiciary, the judges who decide the cases that parties bring before it, is diverse and reflective of the communities where our judges serve. The mission of NAWJ is to promote judicial leadership and the judicial role of protecting rights of individuals under the rule of law through strong, committed, diverse judicial leadership, fairness and equity in the courts, and equal access to justice. And so what does that have to do with today? It means what it has to do with today is that we are reaching out to our youth so that you can see the beautiful and very different faces of justice who are in the justice system now. And we hope that through this JET mentoring program today, that if you have any interest in the law, that you can see yourself as a future face of justice. So again, thanks to the State Bar, to Greg and Michelle, and to all the mentors. And I see that there are a number of my colleagues who are also NAWJ members, and I want to thank them for taking time out of their schedule to be with us today. So thank you all, and let's get into mentoring.
Great. Thanks so much, Judge Rick. We really appreciate your work over the years with us, and your offering up some time for us this morning. And we really are in gratitude for all of your service that you've provided to us over the years. So thanks. So we have just a couple of things that we want to share with you before we get into our mentoring sessions. The first thing is we are going to move now, instead of before we were going to move our mentors around. Now, because of the change in composition of the groups, we'll be moving students around. So for mentors, that means you stay put. You're not going to get the moving around from session to session. We're going to have our students move instead, and all of that will happen behind the scenes. You don't have to do a thing, and poof, magically you're in a different place with a different student. So I just wanted to share that with you. We are going to have 10-minute sessions, and so students, you will see our banner go up that tells you that you're about to move at the 1-minute mark. So with that change, we want to let you know that you'll be rotating around from group to group. Remind our students that you'll be hearing from all of our volunteers, but we want to hear from you. We want you to ask questions and be ready to pepper our volunteer mentors with all the questions that you have about their world, their profession, their decisions to go into the legal profession, and all of those good things. So we really have a great group of individuals for you, and we can't wait to get started. And I think we are going to get ready to move everyone into all of the sessions. And we'll know that I just noted that we have a couple of students in one group that may or may not have a camera. So we'll work with that. No worries. We'll get everyone an opportunity to talk with everyone. That's our goal. And so we'll get that done this morning. With that, I think we're ready to begin our breakout sessions. And you should see, the students should see a place for them to move. And our volunteers, you will be moved as well. Everyone have a good time. All right, we're welcoming everybody back into the main room. Hopefully everyone had an opportunity to talk to our great group of students. We are so appreciative that everyone was able to join us today. We just have an opportunity here first if there's any questions, and secondly, we will send you to our closeout video. First, I'll look to see if there's any questions. Anyone's hands raised? Looks like I have one. And I'll be happy to answer the question. Let's see. It was just a statement, everyone. Let's see here. Here we go. Everyone, thanks for the opportunity. This is from our teacher for the day, for the group of students, Mr. Brock. We wanted to make sure that everyone was, let everyone know to thank all of you for participating. I think right now we're ready to roll on to our final video. So there we go.
My name is Jerome Crawford. Before I was the Director of Legal Operations and Social Equity for Pleasant Trees Cannabis Company, I was in law school at Michigan State University College of Law. Before that, I was also at Michigan State University for undergrad, making me a super Spartan. I was a student, just like you. You know, I once thought about becoming an actor. In fact, I still do, my dream job. And I've been fortunate to do a little bit on the side. I also thought about being in law enforcement, like the CIA. But then I realized I didn't really want to take a bullet for real, and I could just play like it on TV in Law and Order or something. I decided to become a lawyer because I wanted to be an advocate for people. I've had people be advocates for me in my life. I remember my mother being my advocate before I was even born and fighting for me to have a chance even walking this earth today. The ability to serve others is something you can't take for granted. And one piece of advice I'd like to share with you is that, simply put, remember the why and the how will come. As you're on this journey, you may not understand how you're going to get from point A to point B. But one thing you can remember is what drives you, your passion. Your passion will fuel your purpose. So remember your why and your how will come. Take care.
All right, great words of wisdom from our good friend, Jerome Crawford, an attorney here in Michigan. And so with that, we want to direct your attention to our evaluation survey that's in the chat. We want to hear from everyone about your participation today and get your feedback. So with that, I want to ask you to fill out our evaluation link and thank everyone for such a great morning. Thanks to our mentors for participating and giving of your time. Thanks to our students for participating and taking this opportunity to learn from everyone. So with that, I want to wish everyone a fantastic day and thank you so much. We'll see you again soon.